Very good afternoon to everyone who has once again joined into this amazing session with me. We're going to talk about a very, very difficult word to understand. This is going to be a session on inertia. Now, this is one of those words that every student is afraid of and they don't really understand its meaning. And then they have their own notions of how to counteract it. But at the end of the day, you're not getting to the right point. You're not getting the right answers whenever the questions are being put up on this topic. So we'll try to decode, we'll try to understand that what exactly inertia is, and then hopefully do some questions as well to understand it in its entirety. You are with me. My name is Udit Gupta, and let me tell you the place where I am teaching the ODA Class app. This is where you can learn a lot more awesome concepts just like this one. This is just one concept you're getting. You can get a lot more if you join ODA Class. And if you are joining ODA Class, why not get the best out of it? And once you want to get the best out of it, it happens to be a bridge course. Yes, this is the course that starts on Monday and it is packed with so many features that you just might be amazed. Now, let me talk about it one by one. First of all, it's a week-long course. That is, 1 week is the duration, 7 days. You get this course, and in this course, all throughout, you'll be having 6 classes on the first 6 days. So three would be maths, three would be science. You're getting those 6 classes. You're understanding a lot of concepts. You're learning with the best of teachers. But somehow maybe you might have some doubts. You might have some problems. Most of it will be catered in the class itself. But if you feel like, what, after the class I get doubts, all right? After the class, once I'm doing my homework, I get doubts. Who is going to solve it for you? Now, it does not happen that, if you are going to school, after the school, if you're doing your homework, nobody is there to take your doubts. Maybe you ask it out the next day to your teacher, and if the teacher has time, they will answer. But we are giving you a dedicated mentor teacher for your own personal support because we understand that you have a lot of doubts, that you have a lot of problems, and all those problems need a solution. They need to be listened to. And that is why this teacher is the best thing that I feel this course has to offer. So, not only are you learning, but you're getting your doubts cleared as well. And like I said, it's not just that these are the only things. There's the homework on the app, the test is there on the app. Like you see, 6 days you're having classes, 7 days you're having the course. So one day, the final day, you have the final test as well. And we give you the books in PDF format because we want you to remember us. Ki haan, I studied at ODA class. I came in this 1 week bridge course and I enjoyed it a lot. So the books are there. You can circulate it to your friends. You can share it with anybody that you feel like doing. And obviously, there's a lot more study material that we can give you. Now, a lot of things depend whether you are coming into this bridge course or not. So I would say that if you feel that, what, the teachers at ODA class are magnificent, they are amazing. There's a lot of sessions that are being taken, not only in physics that we're having right now with respect to inertia, but we are also having in bio, in maths, in chemistry, all the things. If you feel that all the teachers combined as a group are some set of super teachers, then you can come join us in the bridge course through this link. This link over here is also present in the description box. So if you just scroll a little, you're gonna find that link. Click on this link. Make sure you enroll in the bridge course. It just costs you 49 rupees. That is the final price that we have kept after the discount. It's almost a 90% discount, as you can see. So come over here, enjoy with the best of teachers, learn a lot of things, ask your doubts, do the homeworks, get the tests done. Your study report will also be sent to you. Your parent teacher, your parents are also involved in the parent teacher meeting. So everything is there if you would just join us. And 1 week, right? 1 week, 49 rupees. I think this does justice. So why don't you join us and hopefully we can learn a lot more. Now, all of you are thinking that who is this guy who is telling us a lot of things. I'd like to quickly introduce myself. My name is Udit Gupta, and I have done my engineering from NIT Allahabad. Not only do I love physics, but I have had that experience of teaching physics for a long time now. And let's hope that some of that experience could be provided to you. So let's go ahead and let's see what is inertia. right? What do you mean once this word inertia comes? What is the feeling that you get? What is the first thing that you get in your mind? So, what is the first thing that I get? I get this feeling. What is this feeling? That if you're trying to move an elephant, right, would you be able to do so? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. I can see it in the comments, right? The answer is no. That you want to move an elephant? Is that possible? No. Human strength is not that much that we can move an elephant. So, what exactly is this elephant? Why is he so chill? He's chill because लगाओ जितना फोर्स लगाना है मैं तो नहीं हिल रहा right you won't be able to move me is the feeling of this elephant and this is where we start to get a feeling of inertia कि this elephant has a lot of inertia इसके अंदर बहुत attitude है इसके अंदर बहुत inertia है इसके अंदर बहुत mass है and that is what defines inertia right inertia is something that is dependent on mass एंड ये मूव नहीं कर रहा और इसकी प्रॉपर्टी कि इस पे फोर्स लगाओ और ये जल्दी मूव नहीं करता दिस इज इनर्शिया आप किसी पे फोर्स लगाओ वो रेस्ट पे था वो रेस्ट पे ही रहना चाहता है वो कह रहा भाई मेरे को नहीं हिलना दिस इज इनर्शिया अच्छा लेट्स टॉक अबाउट अनदर थिंग ओवर हियर इफ यू सी ये बच्चा है इतना भारी पत्थर खींच रहा खींच ही नहीं पा रहा नॉट एबल टू पुल दिस हेवी स्टोन इज दिस स्टूडेंट well, this is student so happy, right? He's very jolly. Yeah, small piece of stone I am able to drag through. Why? Because there comes inertia, there comes mass. So let us now define inertia with something that is more technical and that is something that your teachers would be requiring you to write in your answer copies that inertia is a property, right? It is an intrinsic property. Everybody has that inertia if you carry some mass. So what is this property about? This is property of a matter that says that any object will resist any kind of change that's there in its initial state of motion or in the initial state of rest. So if something is in motion, it will try to remain in motion. कहेगा मेरे को motion में ही रखो भाई. If something is at rest, वो कहेगा भाई मेरे को rest पे ही रखो. I don't want to do anything. मैं rest पे ही रह के chill. That is what inertia is about. That if you are at any state, whether it is rest or whether it is motion, you want to remain in that state. You don't want to change that state. And once you do change that state, that is where first law will come, which we'll take up in the next session. Right. Another thing that is very, very important that inertia is only and only dependent on mass. More mass, more inertia. Less mass, less inertia. As simple as that. Okay. So I hope that you have gotten a feeling of inertia as to what is it and how do we see it. So let's have a quiz. Let's have a question. Let's try to understand whatever we have learned. Now the quiz says, on what factor does inertia of a body depends? किस चीज पे inertia depend करता है? You're given some options. There's force, there's velocity, there's acceleration, and there is mass. And I think I told you, a lot of students, once they study the first law, they think that force and inertia are related. So they are tending to answer A part. But I've told you specifically that inertia is just dependent on this one thing, and this one thing happens to be mass, which happens to be the correct option over here as well. Right. I hope you've understood this quiz. Let's take up now the different types of inertia that you would be encountering. What are these different types of inertia? So let us take it one by one. The first one, inertia of rest. What does this mean? That if anything is at rest, it will try to remain at rest. Simple, done. Another inertia is inertia of motion. If anything is in motion, it will try to remain in motion. Right. And there is a third inertia that you can also remember, and this is inertia of direction. That if you are moving in a certain direction, You always want to move in that direction only. जिस भी डायरेक्शन पे हम जा रहे हैं हम उसी डायरेक्शन में चलना चाहेंगे. This obviously comes with movement. This is going to be there जब motion हो. Right? If there is no motion, there is no point of direction. There is no inertia of direction. But when there is motion, you can say that whichever direction you are moving in, you want to remain in the same direction, and that is what inertia of direction tells us. So now, if you have understood all three different types of inertia, let us try to understand it with an example. Over here, I see a sumo wrestler and I see a kid, right? And what is happening here? This sumo wrestler is in the state of rest. And no matter the forces applied, his inertia is so much that he remains at rest. So he is at rest and he wants to remain at rest. That's why this relates to inertia of rest. That you are at rest and you want to remain the same way. You want to remain at rest. What about inertia of motion? If you see what exactly has happened here, there is an accident that has taken place and this car has hit the tree. Why exactly? This car, once, if you see, he started to put brakes from this point, from here, he came, and then he crashed. So he must have been in motion and he must have been at a very high speed. So even after putting the brakes, he still goes and crashes. Why? Because he has that inertia of motion. That he was moving very fast and he wanted to move, and this is what happened because he was having that inertia of motion. That if something is moving, it wants to remain moving until and unless accident happens, right? Okay, now the third one is the most important one, and you should understand it the best. That is the inertia of direction. That if let us say you are trying to whirl a stone in a circle like this, it goes in a circle, it was going like this. So at this point it wants to go down, at this point it wants to go right or east, at this point it wants to go up or north, at this point it wants to go west or towards left. So the thing is that if you are rotating it, it has a certain direction at each point, at this point, at this point, at this point, this, infinite points, infinite directions. So let us say the stone was at this point, and that is the time you let go of the string. So what happens? It goes and carries on in the same direction. It will just go in this direction only. This is what happens in that game that you play, no? In Olympics, you go like and then you throw. And then once you throw, I think hammer throw, right? So once you understand that if you want to move in a particular direction, you'll continue to move in that direction. That is exactly what we call as inertia of direction. So now you have understood everything. Let's try to see certain questions. It says when a bus suddenly takes a turn, if it was going like this and it takes a turn, then the passengers are thrown outwards because of what? Why exactly are the passengers thrown outwards? Is it because of inertia of motion? Is it because the acceleration of motion? Is it because the speed of motion? Or is it because of both acceleration and speed? So I think we have studied just one thing, and that happens to be correct. Inertia of motion. The bus was moving, they wanted to move in this direction only. If you take a certain turn, that is why they keep on moving in that direction. The bus has taken a turn, but they go into that direction, and that is why it appears like they're thrown outwards. Okay, all right. A next quiz is there. It says a body moving in a circular path attached with a string. We saw this. It goes tangentially when released. It is an example of, we just learnt this. This is inertia of direction. That is C option over here happens to be the correct option. I hope that you have learned a great deal today, understood inertia completely. But guess what? There's more to be understood, more to be learned. If you just join the ODA app, that is where more things are happening. And the best place at ODA app happens to be the bridge course. It starts on Monday. That means you can make sure that once you have logged on here, from Monday, start learning for one full week. You're going to have a lot of classes. You're having that personal teacher to support whatever problems that you have. You have the test, the homeworks, the PDF books. So it's an all around covered, everything covered package for one week. If you would just be so gracious to come and enroll into this. Now, how do you enroll? You find this link in the description below. You click on it and make sure that you press on enroll now. Get that payment done of 49 rupees and boom, you're in the best course that this nation has right now. But all of this will only happen if you make a start. They always say it's difficult to make a start. Why? Because of inertia of rest. If you're not making a start, you always feel like let's be at rest. And once you start to move, you always want that, you know what, now I'm in motion. I want to keep moving. You can start to move by coming into this bridge course. You can break that inertia of rest, get into motion, get into the bridge course, and once you come into the bridge course, it's not only that we are asking you to pay us, we're going to pay you back in the form of these ODA coins, which you can redeem for all these different goodies that are there. Want to check out how many goodies are there? Want to know how many things are there? Just make sure that you get onto the ODA app, check it out. This is me signing off for now, but do not forget to like and share this video if you found this interesting. And if you don't want to miss more, press on the subscribe button. Thank you and bye bye.